Hello, this is my attempt at making a video, a blog video. Um, guess I could start by saying that I've learned a whole lot of things here lately. Um, things um, that the Lord has taught me. Um, and as y'all know, when the Lord teaches us things, sometimes it's hard to take, but it's for our best. And the thing that He's taught me here lately is that um, we can't um, we can't let people speak things over us. We have to speak life, regardless of what anyone thinks about it or what anyone says about it. We have to do it for ourselves. And I've pretty much learned that the hard way. I've learned that when you speak life over yourself, not everybody will jump on the bandwagon and go with you on that journey. Some people don't simply want to, speak life. They want to stay in the position that they're in. And um, uh, I'm not saying something that I haven't been through myself. I mean, I was once there. I was once one of those people that I wouldn't speak anything encouraging or anything that was life over myself. I would speak everything negative. Um, but I'm starting to see though that, I've seen for a while now, the reason why that is because the things that I listen to, the things that I let in, um, the enemy, he is out to destroy us all. And um, he don't come to us as, a red devil with a tail, pitchfork for a tail, well, not pitchfork for a tail, but you know what I mean. He don't, he don't come, like that, because we would automatically know that's the devil, and we would, rebuke him and tell him to leave and he would go. Well, he don't come that way. He'll come through people, he'll come through circumstances, situations, and try to discourage us. And, it's up to us, how we handle that and what we do. We have to make a choice to listen to what the enemy says, or to listen to what the Lord says, to what God has told us, what God has promised us. And the thing about it was that, well, my situation was that I was listening to people speak negative, and um, uh, I found out when you hang around with people and you listen to people every day that speak negative about themselves, about their circumstances. They say, well, I'm never going to get any better. I'm always going to be depressed. I'm always going to be in bad health. I'm never going to be healed. I'm never going to have the things that I need. I'm never going to be rich. Blah blah blah. When you listen to that, and you have a relationship with those people, um, it will affect you. I didn't really realize that, but that's what it is. I heard a preacher say on TV not so long ago that your relationships is what defines who you are. And he went into detail about it, and I got to thinking about it, and I thought to myself, well, what kind of relationships do I have? With the people that I hold close to me. Um, you know, how do they see themselves? Do they see themselves healed and well, or do they see themselves, down and depressed and an outcast? And truthfully, a lot of them see themselves down and depressed and an outcast. And I realized that was why that I was feeling the way I was. It was because I was listening to that. And the thing that really made me realize everything, the thing that helped me to learn to stand on my feet and was that I had a friend, and we had been friends for a few years, probably, I don't know, probably just guessing about 5 or 6 years, maybe longer than that. Um, and me and this friend, we had gone through a lot of issues with our health. A lot of the issues that she had, I had felt as well. When I first met her, though, she didn't. She had the issues. She had problems with her health. She went through a lot, and I didn't understand at the time why that she went through the things that she did. I didn't understand everything. You know, I tried, I listened, I tried to help her the best I could, but I didn't know firsthand what she went through. Um, and then, you know, it was in I think it was May of 2010 was when I started, well, I've been experiencing stuff for probably 10 years, you know, on and off with my health, but it didn't get real bad until like May of 2010 when everything started to crumble underneath me, and I started having migraines really bad. I started being dizzy, and it wasn't no just lightheadedness, dizziness. I mean, it was spinning, vertigo, couldn't stand on my feet, dizziness. You know, couldn't get up, and um, when I got up and tried to walk around, um, I just couldn't. I would get sick, and I would just go back to the bed, you know, and I would talk to my friend about it, and, you know, we would talk about how horrible we felt, and how that, you know, we wanted to find out what was wrong with us. She had been going through for 10 years at that time, and, you know, she was constantly telling me, well, I've never found what's wrong with me. You know, I went to the doctors and they say it's this, or, you know, something like that. And it was always, you know, everything that the doctors was telling her was something that there's no cure for. And, you know, she would tell me that, you know, well, what we have is probably the same thing. We have something alike. And, you know, she was sitting here saying, well, there's no cure for what I have. You know, the doctors say that. And it got me to thinking that what I had, there was no cure for either. And that I was just going to have to suffer with it for the rest of my life until I died. Well, you know, after so long of that, after being in the bed, not being able to get up, you know, I got depressed, you know, got down, you know, and I didn't see no hope. But, you know, over the course of the 2 years that I've been through it, you know, I made the best I could. You know, I went from day to day and tried to do the best that I could. Um, but what I realized was that I was speaking death over myself. You know, me and her both were. Me and the friend were. And finally this year, um, well, actually it was last year, around November, um, I got really sick and I had to go to the hospital. And I started having numbness in my fingers. My two fingers right here, they started getting numb, and they stayed numb. And, you know, right now they're still numb. But the thing that the thing about it is that when they first got numb, you know, I thought, well, this is the passing thing. It's, you know, it's gonna leave. You know, it's not gonna stay that way. Um, and then after about 2 months, you know, like January, sometime in January, um, I noticed my big toe on my left foot was getting numb, and, you know, that started to worry me, and it started to make me think, you know, the enemy was in my head saying, well, you know, your whole body's gonna go numb, you know, your whole hand's gonna go numb, your feet's gonna go numb, you're not gonna be able to walk because of it, you're not gonna be able to use your hands and your feet. You know, you already can't stand on your feet sometimes, you have to lay in the bed, and you hurt so much that you can't get up. You know, the enemy was telling me all this, and and then my friend, is in the other ear telling me, well, you're just going to suffer with it for the rest of your life, and blah, blah, blah. Well, I found myself in bed one night, and I was crying out to the Lord, and I told the Lord, I said, you have to help me. Somehow, some way, you have to do something. Um, if you're not going to heal me instantly, because see, I know the power of God. I know um, that this one word from Him, that, I could be healed instantly. And, I told the Lord, I said, if you're not going to heal me instantly, then send me hope, send me help, somehow, some way, do it. And I told Him that if He wasn't going to, that I was going to end it, and that I wasn't going to put up with it, I wasn't going to deal with it, the rest of my life. And my circumstances that night didn't change. I still felt horrid. I felt awful. Um, but I continued to cry out to the Lord, and I cried until I felt better, until I felt that that was all the tears that I had left, and that there was nothing else that I knew to say. And when I got done praying, I felt like the Lord had reached right down to me and given me hope. Um, it was like this, I can't even describe the feeling that came over me, but it was like a reassurance that everything was going to be okay, and that that everything was under His control, and it was just a wonderful feeling. Well, anyway, I hadn't had contact with a friend for a few days, or anybody else for that matter. I wouldn't talk to them when they would call me. They'd call my mom and, would ask my mom why she talking to me, why ain't she answering the phone, and all I would tell my mom is I don't want to talk to anybody. Um, but after I had that experience that night, I called my friend up, the one that I've been through that stuff with. I called her up and I told her, I said, listen, I said, I can't talk about this stuff anymore. I said, I can't focus on being in the bed all the time and being sick and not being able to get up. I said, I just can't focus on that, worry about that, think about that all the time, because all it's doing is making me depressed. It's making me down. It's making me feel like I don't have any hope. And I said, I have hope now, and I don't want to lose it. And instead of her encouraging me and helping me, that's what a friend would do, but she didn't. And she said that that I would be back in the bed again, and that when I was back in the bed, I wouldn't be able to get up. She said that it would happen, and that when I was in the bed, that I would have to stay there until whatever it was would let me up. And, that really hurt me, probably more than anything anybody's ever said to me, because, I hit rock bottom, and I felt like there was just no hope. And, when I finally got my hope back, I finally got the hope that I needed, and reach out to the friend. He was like, she just beat me on down. And, so I told her, I said, well, I can't be friends with you anymore. I said, I just can't listen to you speak that stuff all the time. I have to do what I have to do to get better. And that was one thing, that I had to do. I had to walk away from it. And she got offensive and started saying things to me, about that all she wanted somebody was to care and understand her. And, I told her that I had tried to understand her, and I had cared for her. I even went to her house on Christmas and spent a few hours with her. Didn't intend on staying the night, but I had a spell of vertigo, and I had to stay all night with her. We was both in the bed together. Well, I reminded her that, well, I've been there for you. I come to your house and got stuck in the bed with you. So, I have been there for you. I have cared and I have loved you. I've tried to encourage you. But I told her, I said, I can't even hardly encourage myself right now. And so I'm just gonna have to walk away for a while. Well, you know, um, I did that, and then I seen that it didn't matter. That it didn't matter, like, if what I'm trying to say is, when you have a friend, you allow them access to your life. You allow them access to your thoughts, your feelings, everything. Um, and I can't just be friends with somebody and just have and just talk to them, every, week or so, and not begin to care, or not begin to, you know, get close to them. I mean, I've always been one that I get close to the people that I'm friends with. Um, so, that was, I realized that I couldn't be friends with her at all. I just had to walk away, and so I did. Uh, and then, after I walked away, there was other friends that we had, friends that she had, and that I was their friend too. And, I eventually had to do the same thing to them. I had to cut them off from my life too, because they, not that they was doubting what I was trying to say, that I was going to get better, but I could tell that they did. They didn't come out and say, well, hey, Christy, I don't believe it, but I felt like they did. And then they was going back to her and telling her what I was saying, about me getting better, and I'm sure that they probably had a fun time of it, making fun, Um, I know one time even they, told my other friend that not to listen to everything that the Lord had told her. Um, and because the Lord had told me that that things I was going through, the health issues I was going through, wasn't going to be forever. That it was just going to be something that I was going to go through for right now. But, um, to get me to the place that I need to be. The Lord also spoke to me and told me that, that this was the thing for the enemy. He was going to make the enemy pay me back, for everything he had done to me, spiritually and financially. And Lord knows I need financial blessings, so, and spiritual blessings too. And when the Lord told me that, they didn't believe that, and they tried to make fun. Well, but I have to say though, since I haven't been talking to them, I feel better, about my circumstances. I feel like there's hope. I feel like things are going to get better. I know things are going to get better. Um, I feel like that, the things in my future, is coming, and, I don't feel like it's going to be long till some of those things come.